My name is Amanda Falkenberry. I brought up last month's council meeting to watch. I was appalled at what was in the manager's report about my husband and I. My cancer has taught me many things, one of which is to enjoy life's little moments, like watching the geese trying to swim in less than a foot of water over here at the retaining pond. It was absolutely hilarious. Stopping to listen to the songbird that had perched on the reed in the retaining pond over here. The song was absolutely gorgeous. Town manager, you can turn the mayor and all of the council against us. You can work with the lawyer on an ordinance. You can send a letter. You can call the cops. But I refuse to let you steal my moments of joy. You see, another thing my cancer has taught me is to fight. So I will continue to come over to the town hall and enjoy the geese, the ducks, the beautiful songbirds, and the beauty of our nation's flag. Mayor and council, the question is simply, are you going to sit there and allow the town manager to take my moments of joy? To just share try on it. The two events at Chestnut Square Park recently were absolutely wonderful. Please convey my job well done to you and your staff. They were well staffed. We had a ball. I watched all the different people coming and going. Everybody enjoyed that. So thank you very much for two wonderful events. Thank you.
Michael Falkenberry?
Good evening, Michael Falkenberry, 519 Pickett Circle. In regards to comments made at the last council meeting, I'm going to address everyone from left to right. Mayor Alvarez claims town staff should be off limits to comments. The same mayor who a few years ago read a letter during public comments from a former town staff member, Janice Cook, criticizing town manager Joe Fivas. The same mayor who went to the FBI with a false accusation of Captain Coble, claiming he was threatened by him. The same mayor who slandered residents in a newspaper editorial. Shirley Howe did fight for public comments during council meetings. During public comments, she claimed Mr. Fivas made sure there was a trial with biased evidence violating HIPAA laws by exposing private information of employees.
Point of order. He has no clue what he's, I mean.
It's from the meeting minutes, Mr. Cohn. This is taken from the meeting minutes that you approved as a council member.
This man gets up here and says, I don't think he can back these.
Oh, I can back him up.
Mr. Falkenberry, would you kindly let the attorney speak?
The town certainly has the right to run this meeting without personal attacks. And if that is what is happening here, and I'm sorry, I was talking town manager at the time, that is not allowed. That the town has every right to stop that from happening during public comments.
Okay, very well. Even though it's public record. Also, in the context of what Mr. Cohn said about me, about a handrail 10 inches from the wall of the lobby. Yeah, it's just enough space for a young child to get wedged between. Children now visit this building on a regular basis for town events. I asked Mr. Sadik why wasn't the stairwell constructed next to the wall, alleviating the small space. A comment based on my observation. My wife and me fought to have the fence installed next to Black Drive to discourage children from crossing the railroad track during Crossing Path Park events. Chip Long also helped with that, if I remember correctly. I guess a particular council member is against that too. In regards to a comment by Mr. Head, he was correct by seeing me during an art exhibit in February. He didn't mention he had walked towards me, and I told him if he came into the room, yes, it would be a quorum. He left and remained in the hallway. Later, Mr. Kiesler, who was a council member at the time, walked by saying it was time for them to leave for a meeting, as with whom he said with the land developer. A meeting that was not advertised to the public because it was not an official meeting, though there were 3 council members in the same area of the building, a quorum by 3 council members, Mr. Head, Mr. Kiesler, Mr. Morse being there. Later, Ms. Howe showed up. 2 at a time in a meet in a room therefore, where there was already 4 there before the meeting started, 2 at a time. A meeting that was secret, or do you call it a meeting nobody else knew about? I did email the town attorney and the town manager, if possible open meeting law violation might have taken place. I was interrupted earlier, can I continue,
I have
please?
already.
Thank you. How much time do I have?
15 seconds.
Thank you. Rest of it being a Hornet's Nest 2.0. It's not coming offline. No conspiracies here. I can back up everything I say. Thank you.
Thank you. This time I'll close public comment.
I have a public
Are
comment.
you adding to public comments?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it from right here.
Council, is it okay to, someone speak on public comments? I'll reopen them, same rules apply. State your name, and your 3 minutes will begin.
Okay, just David Cohn, 1019 Philly Drive, Indian Trail, North Carolina. You know, week after week after week, people get offended because we defend ourselves. Just because we're a town council person doesn't mean that when we get called a liar and a cheat and we're hiding and we're secret meetings. I just want to tell people in this room what this secret meeting he's talking about. First of all, I would like to ask our attorney to tell us what a secret, what's illegal and what's not illegal, because this gentleman keeps getting up saying that we're having secret meetings and that we're, we're doing something wrong, which not only discredits the town council, but it also discredits the town staff, because the town staff's here. And there's no such thing as a secret meeting. Just because you're in the same room doesn't make it a planned meeting. But if during my time, if the town attorney would explain to Mr. Falkenberry what a meeting consists of.
The open meeting laws of the state, and just so this has been an issue in many towns, many small towns in particular, because the elected officials live in the town and oftentimes will have similar interests, will appear at the same events. The town council is required, is required to notify the public of a town council meeting when those events are planned. In the event that town council shows up and they happen to be at the same meeting, or even if they know that's going to happen, but no town action is being taken, there's not a requirement of a public notice for that meeting. Generally, it is when the town council gets together and decides to meet together at the same time, that should be noticed to the public. I hate to use the term an illegal meeting. Any action taken in a meeting that was not noticed to the public would not be a valid act of the town council. If no action is taken, the town council, on occasion, if you plan that meeting, should have let the public know about the meeting, and we are working hard to make sure that happens. However, this council is incredibly involved in everything, and so there are going to be occasions when when 3 or more of you do appear at a meeting unplanned, and that again, with my consultation with the School of Government, that is not a violation of the open meeting rules.
Thank you, Karen.
Keep it quiet.
One last thing.
15 seconds, Mr. Cohn.
All right, I'm going to ask for, because the attorney, I'll ask for a minute or more. That's okay? All right,
If you
I
want
won't
to-
ask for a
If you want
minute
to
more.
suspend the rules and add the item to the agenda, yes, but not during public comment.
That's okay. That's okay. I'll discuss it in public comments. But anyway, not public comments, council comments at the end of the meeting. So, thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I will reclose the public comments and open up